Welcome to Health and Wellness with Eva, where all your health and wellness needs are the main priority. Please join your host Eva as we journey through getting to know the mind and the body for a healthier and happier you. Tune in on Mondays at 4 p.m. or live on South Florida's True Oldies radio station at 8 p.m. Give us a call at 765-425-7445. Let the show begin.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome. Super excited to be with all of you today. And of course, I have my favorite person in the whole world. Cynthia is going to be joining us today because we're all about health and wellness. And, you know, it's January. People want to start something new. They want to take control of their life again, right? Everything amazing happens in January. So we're going to talk all about health and wellness, how you can get your health and wellness back naturally and organically without medicine, without pills, without lotions, potions, juices, right? We just want our bodies to heal and repair, and we just want to look good, we want to feel good, and then we're going to do good, right? That's really what it's about. So welcome to all of you, and Cynthia, welcome. Always good to share the stage with you, my friend. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for inviting me. It's nice to be here with the Patch Queen.
Yeah. We love our patches, don't we?
Yes, we do. And I'm super excited about this segment talking about health and wellness. What a
Mhm.
perfect opportunity. Here we are, just launched January, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we have a patch for everything. I know you always say we have a patch for that, right? And we do
Yes.
we do have a patch for everything because again, do we need one more chemical going into our bodies, right? Do we need one more lotion and potion? Now, having said that, let me say this. Is there a time and a place for medication? Absolutely, there is, but not for everyday health and wellness. And so I always advise people when you start a new regimen, right? Be smart about it. Always let your physician know because sometimes you need to be weaned off certain medications, right? Or, you know, you're starting to feel better and maybe the dosage is a little different. And so it's very important to make sure your medical provider knows that. Because as we start to improve our health, there are certain things we may not need or use anymore, right? And so, of course, we don't cure, diagnose, or treat anything. We're all about natural alternatives to health and wellness. So, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to share a story. And we have thousands and thousands of testimonies. I mean, we could be on here 24/7 just talking about them. But we have a patch that helps you to break bad habits. And I know so many people, you know, maybe they bite their nails, or maybe they smoke and they want to quit smoking, or perhaps, you know, they're snacking too much, right? And January is one of those times where you want to break bad habits. And I will tell you, the testimonies coming back from that patch are phenomenal. I mean, we've had people quit smoking in less than 30 days. We've had people stop snacking. People are losing weight because of it, right? And so many other benefits. Cynthia, have you experienced anything with that patch? Have you used it yet?
Yes. Yes, I have. I know you don't have any bad habits, but I had this
Right.
really bad habit of sugar. I mean, I just feel like I was just addicted to sugar. And they say the average person gains, what, 12 pounds between November and Christmas or through
Mhm.
January 1st. And I was a statistic, I'm afraid to say, because I ate my way through the holidays. And it just seems like when it comes to sugar, it's hard
Mhm.
to moderate.
Mhm.
I mean, it was nothing to have sugar every day, but also several times a day. We had cookies laying around all the time, and it's just easy to just grab one of those up, right?
Mhm.
So for me, I wanted to help my sugar addiction. So that's the major benefit that I got out of it, was being able to not pick up the cookie and just, walk away from that bad habit. So I love that patch.
Hmm. And it's funny that you say that because so many people are addicted to sugar. And we know that's a bad addiction because it causes havoc on the body, right? Everything from cancer and, all kinds of diseases and inflammation and, just it really does wreak havoc on the body. And so I'm
Brain
so
fog.
glad yeah, I'm so glad you're able to not do that anymore.
Hmm.
That's life changing.
Yes,
And not only that, but you're going to be a lot slender, right? Because of it. Because sugar adds to our weight, you know?
yes,
It truly
yes.
does. Yeah.
Yeah, I know one thing that I noticed, Eva, was kind of a nice side benefit is
Mhm.
not only was I not wanting the sugar, but my brain fog, which I didn't even realize I had, but all of a sudden I just felt like this fog was lifted and I'm thinking more clearly. So that was kind of a side benefit. You got rid of that bad habit. Now you look forward to some really good things, better energy, no more sugar
Mhm.
crashing, no need to have a nap in the afternoon, all of those things that I was feeling. Um,
Ah,
so lots of good side benefits from that I
very
love.
cool. I didn't even know those were some of the side effects. Wow, that's
Yeah.
incredible. Well, I will tell you, I don't have a sweet tooth, but I do sometimes. But since I've been wearing the patch for weight loss, I don't even think about it. I just walk by it, and you've been to my home, you've seen my pantry, right? There's all kinds of goodies, but it doesn't
Hmm.
matter. I mean, I don't even think about them, right? And so if you're looking to lose some weight, if you're looking to break some bad habits, we can certainly help you with that. Go to mypatchqueen.com and take a look at those testimonies and take a look at that information in there. And of course, reach out to me. I'd love to help you on your journey. Now, those are important things, but we also have other important health issues as well. First of all, it is January. See, we're back to January. Um, and it is flu season in a lot of areas, right? In most areas, I would say. A lot of
Yes.
colds, a lot of, sniffles and little things that happen, this time of year. And of course, we have a patch that will help you with your immune system. And that is a very important system because it actually protects your whole body. And so the immune system is very important to protect it. And I know that's one patch I never go without. I wear it every single day. I've traveled a lot, as you know, and
Yep.
I never felt like, oh my gosh, could I be jeopardized, right? Never once did that cross my mind. And I know you have a good story on that one as well, because
I
somebody had a little
do.
virus soon, not
Yes.
too long ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was exposed to COVID recently.
Hmm.
And, I'm talking like I got big kisses and big hugs, right? And so when they tested positive for COVID, I was preparing, you know, the household for making sure that we were, had everything that we need. But I've been wearing this immunity patch for several months now, about 6 months, I'd say. So I felt protected, but it's one of those things, you never know, right? But I'm
Right.
happy to tell you, Eva, I did not have the first symptom from the experience of being exposed to that. And I
Hmm.
really think it is the patch, the immunity patch, to be able to wear that. And I wear it right here, close to my heart, because it also helps with blood flow too. But I also have another story on that. My granddaughter was staying with us a few weeks ago, and she had probably like a cold, and she was coughing a lot, and her bedroom was right next to ours, and I could hear her coughing, for a while. And so I got up and I put an immunity patch on her right away while she was sleeping. She wasn't even
Hmm.
waking up. And do you know, after I put that patch on her, I did not hear her cough the rest of the night. It
Oh,
like
yeah.
happened like
Okay.
so to have something like that for any age, any
Hmm.
age at all, I don't have to worry, is she too young to have that? Or my mother, who is in her 80s, is she too old to have that? So of course, when I was exposed to this and I'm her caregiver, I put a patch on her too. And so her and I, neither one experienced any of those symptoms. And, we've been exposed to our grandkids with all these viruses, and I've had a very nice, winter of, those exposures that we concern ourselves with, and all of those bugs that are floating around this time of year, right? So I could
Absolutely.
not say about that patch.
Hmm. Yeah, and to your point, I mean, there's a lot of germs always, especially with children. They're in school with other children, right? So it's not for certain viruses, but you want to protect yourself just from germs and just things in the environment, right? Gosh, even going to the grocery store, right? You're touching boxes, you're touching things, you're touching carts, you're touching, right? And somebody could have had the sniffles prior to you. I mean,
Yeah.
it's human nature, right? That's how we are. So it's nice
Yes.
to know that even though you're exposed to crazy things, right? We've always been exposed to it, but now we can protect ourselves naturally and organically by using, that patch. And so and I'm so glad that, you guys were all healthy during all that too, and that it didn't affect you because,
Yeah.
it's really not a good thing when everybody's sick,
Yeah.
and it's hard to get rid of, especially in the wintertime. You're not going to open up doors and windows and air out your home, and right, it's a little different when it's 6 degrees, right? And so
Yes.
yeah, because it's all about keeping people healthy, and it all starts with the immune system, which is most of it. I think, what is it, 85% of it is housed in our gut. So very important, a very important patch. And again, you'll get that information at mypatchqueen.com. Everything is in there, and you can listen to all the videos and watch and learn all about the different patches and all that they do for our health and wellness. So, anyways, we have also a patch for those days that maybe you're not feeling your best, right? Maybe the sunshine isn't out, or you just need the sunshine in your life, right? That's a great patch. It's a happy patch, right? That's a good one.
Mhm.
Any of your favorites? Which ones are your favorites? Other than the
Well, the
Defend, because I
immunity.
know that's
Yeah,
everybody's.
yeah, that immunity patch is my number one favorite, that's for sure. But the other
Mhm.
one that helps with burning more calories,
Mm.
especially, you put a little weight on over the holidays. So we have a patch for that too. That when you
Mhm.
put that patch on, you burn how many more percentage of calories, Eva, that you
25,
burn?
25% more calories.
Right. So I know that if I'm not eating those extra calories and I've got, some weight that I want to, basically to burn off, it's going to help me to do that. So I just love that patch as well. And then the other one that I'd say is my favorite is the mobility patch. And
Mm.
I know this is something, that a lot of people my age tend to have some issues with, but I even hear younger people having issues with, balance and mobility. And so that patch really helped me to, be able to not have joint stiffness. So I'm
Mhm.
sitting here in my office, in my office chair. And used to be, Eva, I couldn't sit here more than maybe 15 minutes without, if I wanted to get up, I was so stiff. I struggled to get out of the chair. And then when I stood up, I literally had to stand still for a few seconds before I just walked, because I was also having trouble with my knee giving out on me. And so that patch I noticed right away with the stiffness and the joint issues. And then just a few days later, I noticed that I could start putting weight on. I have arthritis in my knees as well. I could start putting weight on my legs, going up the stairs like a normal person instead of one leg at a time. So that patch for anybody that's having any joint issues, mobility, balance, that one is a very important patch to take advantage of.
Yeah, and that's also one of my favorites. I wear that one as well, along with his counterpartner. That helps with stability, with strength. It helps with balancing out the body, right? So when you wear those two together, they actually create what we call homeostasis in the body, which is a fancy word for balance. And when your body is balanced, it actually starts to function properly because everything levels out, right? And those three patches for the immunity, right? For the mobility and for the strength and all that, I do not go without those because it's so important to get our bodies back into that balance, to that even keel, right? And it helps with so many other issues. I mean, we have folks with neuropathy that have had great results, right? Inflammation, I mean, my story, and I'll share it real quick just because we're talking about those three patches. I was diagnosed with arthritis in my spine. It actually would take me about 5 minutes or so to get up off a chair. I was in constant pain 24/7, and my options were surgery and medication. Now, surgery was not even an option in my mind, and medication was certainly not on the table because I'm kind of attached to my liver and I wanted to keep it. And of course, he suggested, well, if you don't want to take medication, then why don't you take some anti-inflammatories? Well, anti-inflammatories destroy the kidneys, and I'm kind of attached to those as well. And when I looked at him, I thought, are you kidding me? Like, all you're offering me is surgery, medication that's going to harm my liver, and other medication that's going to hurt my kidneys. Like, why is this even an option, right? And unfortunately, he said, these are your only options. And when I left the surgeon's office that day, he was a spine specialist, I thought, you know what? There's natural alternatives out there that are going to help me. And I don't have to be subjected to all that craziness, right? To fix one thing so I can break something else, so I can take another medicine for that. And you know how the cycle goes, right? And that's why you see people on, 10, 20 medications because it's to counteract what has been damaged, right? And after putting on those patches, my pain went from over a 10 to about a 2 in about 10 minutes. Now, my pressure was still there. The pressure was there, right? But that excruciating pain was not. And the next day, when I got out of bed, I got out of bed like a normal person, like you said, right? Not having to stretch, not having to, lean over, not having all that craziness, but just actually get up and go about your day. And my pain was totally gone. And that was back in March. And I have been pain
Wow.
free ever since. And I mean pain free, right? And
Wow.
so I've made it my mission, my journey to help as many people with their health and wellness as possible because I know how the wear and tear on your body is when you're in pain because it really, I mean, it ages you. You're not in a good mood because you're always in pain. You don't really want to do anything. Even though you may be a positive person, it's hard to stay positive, and it really, I mean, your body becomes sluggish, and you're just not feeling good because of the pain, right? And so when you can eliminate all that, now you feel amazing, and now you can do things you haven't been able to do in many, many years. And so I'm 59 years old. I'm not embarrassed to tell anyone that, but I feel and I act like I did when I was 30. And that's huge. That's a 20-year difference. And that's what I hear from a lot of people. So this is why it's very important to bring the body into that balance and allow the body to start that repair process, because that's how the body was made. And again, everything I'm telling you is on that website, mypatchqueen.com. You can go there and you can take a look at all this information. It's all in there. So Cynthia, that's my story. I mean, you've known me, you know what I've gone through,
Yes.
and it's just amazing to have my life back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know that patch also, a lot of people, we have a lot of athletes that use that patch specifically for athletic performance, better recovery, energy, being able to
Mhm.
increase that. And we're talking professional athletes have now taken advantage of that particular patch to really help
Mhm.
them. So if you're an athlete out there, whether it's professional or semi pro, or maybe you're playing college or even high school sports, you want to get a hold of that patch because that is going to help you to be able to have better endurance, better
Mhm.
energy, and increase your strength. And I think even more importantly, Eva, is that recovery process after you're done with your workout. How quickly can you
Oh,
bounce back to go back the next day, right?
exactly. And again, and to your point, also children in sports, they have the same issues, right? Or people that go to the gym and work out. It's still about recovery, and it's still about, helping the body to become stronger and to recover better and quicker, and so absolutely. And that's the beautiful thing about these patches. It doesn't matter the age. You can be 2 or you can be 102, right? There are no ingredients. It works quickly for everyone. FDA registration, which means the product does what the product says it does. And so, and of course, it's so affordable, it's like ridiculous, right? Because that was his mission, to make sure that every single person can afford it. Because what good is it to have a life changing product if no one can afford to buy it? And so, what a blessing it
Absolutely.
is to have that in our life. Hmm.
Yes. I know you touched on this a little bit, Eva, about pain, because we
Hmm.
know so many people struggle with pain.
Hmm.
And you kind of dived into that a little bit with the other patches when you were talking about pain, but so many people out there are suffering. What do we have that can help with that?
Well, with pain, obviously, that's a big deal. 20%, if I remember the number correctly, I want to say it's like 1.6 billion people are in pain, which is about
Mm,
20% of the population. That is a huge number. But you know what's worse than that is mobility is 25% of the population, right? And we just talked
wow.
about that. And to your point, it used to be our elderly had mobility issues, but the young
Hmm.
generation has them as well. And that's because
Yes.
there's lack of nutrients going into our bodies. Our food source comes from a depleted ground, right? A lot of people are not getting the nourishment the body requires. Even when you're buying organic food, it's not always there. Um, and again, there's, fast food, there's processed foods, and what they do is they wreak havoc on the body. So it creates
Mhm.
oxidative stress, it creates inflammation, right? And so there's a lot of issues that people are having. And the biggest one of all, which is alarming and very concerning, is sleep.
Mm,
That is, sleep is 75% of the population. Now, think about
wow.
this. Our bodies heal and repair when we're sleeping, when we're resting, when we're getting that REM sleep, right? And we know that
Hmm.
that's when the body repairs. Now, if you never get that deep sleep, that REM sleep, the body never has an opportunity to repair itself. So now you have issues. And you have issues like, you have, brain fog, right? You may increase inflammation in the body because remember, your body's constantly in that fight or flight mode. It
Hmm.
causes other havoc on the body, other diseases because the body never had the opportunity to reboot, if you will, right? And so think about this. If 75% of the population are not sleeping and resting, that means 75% of the population are having other issues due to the lack of sleep. That's an
Hmm.
alarming number. So that tells us that not only are we very unhealthy, but we can fix it by using a patch that will help us to go to sleep, to stay asleep, and to allow the body to do what the body does at night when we're sleeping and resting, right? And so
Hmm.
everything that's out there, all these issues that people are having, they can all be fixed, right? By allowing the body to do what the body was meant to do. And the body was meant to heal and repair itself, but you have to give it what it needs to do that. And what these patches do is there are no ingredients, so there's nothing going into the body. What they do is they allow the gap between the body and the brain to start that communication again, like it did when we were young and healthy. But, due to inflammation, due to disease, due to the environment, due to 1,001 reasons, that communication kind of loses its way, if you will. And that's why the body doesn't continue the repair. And so it's very important to bring the body back to homeostasis, and it's very important to allow the body to start that repair process, to get rid of a lot of the other issues. So yeah, those are very alarming numbers. Hmm.
They are
Absolutely.
alarming. And we know, like you said, if you don't have good sleep and your body's not healing itself, it leads on to other problems. And for some of us, it might be maybe stress, or you talked about oxidative stress. Well, what about just the stress of our everyday lives? And if you're not sleeping and being able to handle that, do we have a patch for that one too?
We do, because again, a lot of people have a lot of stress going on. There's a lot of anxiousness going on, right? And it could be due to finances. It could be maybe you have a stressful job, right? Or even a child in school who maybe isn't as advanced as other children, so they feel that pressure every day, right? And so to be
Yeah,
able to put a patch on to reduce that anxiety, that overwhelmness, if you will, right, that we get, is huge. And that's another thing why a lot of people's sleep is affected, is because they can't turn off the mind. It's constantly going, right? But if you can put a patch on that helps you to stay calm and helps you to just, be with yourself, right? And not have to worry about all the craziness that you have going on in your life, that also will help you to get your sleep and to rest, and, in that deep sleep, which is very, very important. Very,
mhm.
yes. Hmm.
I know our patriots, our veterans, are really liking that patch because we have a lot of our population that does have that overwhelming anxiety that you just don't, you're not able to function very well. And I know even we have a lot of mamas that have that issue too, just from being in labor and childbirth, and sometimes things don't go quite the way, so then they get pregnant again. And I know I've had somebody in my life that had that issue. And
Hmm.
so they had a lot of that, um, anxiety. And so that particular patch really helped them with those days. No more anxiety attacks, no more panic attacks. And I think that's one of the most important patches for them, is to be able to have something just help you to keep calmer, and if you're more calm, you're happier.
Well, you're happier, but you're also making better decisions, right? You're making
Yes.
decisions based on normal situations, not decisions based of fear or based of anxiousness or based on, maybe things that are not really there, right? And so
Yeah.
it's very important to be able to get your health back in that way. So
Yeah.
absolutely. Hmm.
I know
Yeah.
another concern on health needs, Eva, and this oftentimes leads because people have poor sleep or maybe, some anxiety, but they have trouble focusing,
Mhm.
keeping focused on task. And I know we have a great patch for that too.
And we do, and that is a big problem. And that again, because remember, the lack of sleep causes cognitive issues as well, right?
Hmm.
And so people have a hard time focusing. And again, this goes down to children as well. So if you can put a patch on a child that's going to go to school and do better because they're able to stay focused and on task and they're not worried about what's going on around them, or you have, perhaps, a stressful job, right? Or, you know, just the dynamics of life, right, can really be distracting. And so for those folks that have a hard time staying focused and being able to finish a task, this is a great thing. And of course, a lot of the kids in college with all their, testing and just the pressures of life, is very distracting at times. So
Yeah. I know
absolutely,
a lot
yeah.
of our executives and doctors really
Hmm.
like that patch because it keeps them really focused in on what they're doing, whether it's a surgical procedure, maybe a surgeon, or
Hmm.
maybe it's a professional doing an important presentation and they want to be really focused. What
Hmm.
about, and sometimes maybe it even needs a combination of patches, but I know we have a lot of elderly that have memory issues. Is that the patch that you recommend for our maybe elderly that has cognitive decline? I
Hmm.
know we have
Yeah,
some help for
absolutely.
that too.
Yep, absolutely. Because again, it's all about the cognitive issues, right? That people are having. And again, to, to just keep you settled in and focused on the task at hand. So
Hmm.
absolutely, because again, all that has to do with that same pattern, right? It's all cognitive support, cognitive decline. Absolutely. Yeah, very important.
You kind of touched on this a little bit, Eva, but I wonder if you could go into this a little bit further because right now, all of these health issues that we're plagued with, and so many
Hmm.
of us are, our options are oftentimes not as pleasant. And you mentioned it can cause some issues with your liver and your kidneys and all
Hmm.
kinds of other things as well. And then you get these side effects that then you may start out with one medication and now you're taking another one to combat the side effects from that one, and it just leads on and on. But can you elaborate on that a little bit more
Yeah,
about the other
absolutely.
options?
Yeah, and that's what happens is that, you take a medication for a certain thing and then that causes issues. So like in my case, as an example, right? If I were to take pain medication, that would hurt the liver because it has to go through there, right? So now I would have to worry about my liver. So at some point, that would cause other issues for me. And so that would require another medication, right? That would potentially hurt something else. If I were to take the anti inflammatory medication that they wanted me to take, that causes kidney issues, right? So then I would have had to take probably a medication to combat that issue, which would probably have gone through the liver. So now we have a liver and a kidney issue, if that makes sense, right? And I'm just using me as an example. Now, because I do talk to a lot of folks, I work with a lot of folks, I work with, over 100 plus physicians, and, we see this all the time. So somebody may have had, let's just say, a little bit of, I don't know, inflammation, right? And so they took a pill for that. And then, that triggered something else. And then they took another medicine and then another medicine. And now, not only are you on two, three, four medications, but now you also have the side effects of those medications that are wreaking havoc on your body. So, so we have side effects, right? We have organ failure issues, right? Because the different medications, our bodies were not meant to have synthetic foreign objects in the body. And that's why I said, is there a time and a place for medication? Absolutely. Somebody's life depends on them taking medication. Absolutely. You're going to take the medication, right? Or if you have some rare something that needs to be addressed by your doctor, absolutely, you're going to use that medication, but not for everyday health and wellness, not for not for arthritis, right? Not for little aches and pains, not for things that the body repairs naturally and organic anyways. So that's why these patches are so important, is because again, no ingredients, no lotions, no potions, no pills. It just, you put them on and the body knows exactly what to do. That's how we were made. Think about all the times you've cut yourself. You didn't go to the doctor and said, heal me. The body just healed itself, right? It started from the inside out and it started closing up and healing. And then sometimes you don't even see the scar where it was from that cut, right? Or from that injury. Well, remember, that's how we were made. But, because of the lack of nutrients, like we talked about, and because of things that are missing, the body never has that opportunity to start that communication process so the body can continue to do that. And especially like with our children, I mean, Cynthia, they're medicating children today. You know, when you and I were growing up, and I'll speak for myself, think about this. When we were growing up, when we came home from school, what did we do? We did our homework, we ran out and played, we were at the park, we were running around here, there, right, with our friends. And then, our parents would get out and yell for us to come back for dinner, right? And then we'd
Yep.
be like, wait, 5 more minutes, right? And then we would come home, we'd wash up for dinner, settle in, finish any homework, right? Get ready for bed, go to school in the morning, right? Today, we don't have that. Today, both parents have to work in most cases, right? So these children come home from school, they have nowhere to go. So they're at home finishing homework, either on a laptop, they're on a computer of some sort, on an iPad, on their phones. They don't have that running around like we did, right? So they have no way to release all that. So as soon as the child acts up, we need to medicate them because they're overactive. No, they're just bored to death, for God's sakes, right? That's important. The other thing too is, as we were growing up, our moms cooked at home because a lot of the moms were home. They didn't have to work, because the dads worked all the time, right? So they were able to prepare meals. They were able to, I remember asking my mom once for an orange. And she said, you can't have an orange. And I said, why not? And she says, they're not in season. I'm like, what does that mean? She said, it's the wrong time of year. They don't make oranges right now. And think now you can get oranges anytime you want, right? So if they're not in season, are they really good for us? Where are they being made, right? And so these are the things that we fell victims of, if you will, right? Because we just kind of went with the flow. And so this is why it's important today to take our health and wellness back. And that's why people's health are declining so rapidly. When you went to school, how many children were using an inhaler? We didn't even know what an inhaler was, right? How many
Right.
children, and this is alarming, how many children were on cholesterol medicine? They're putting children on cholesterol medicine today. I mean, how many kids were obese when we were in school? Maybe one. I mean, maybe one in the whole school, right? There was always that one child. But today, they're all overweight. And it's not because they have bad parents, and it's not because the children are bad. It's because it's the food source that's doing that to us, right? Because of the processed and the GMOs and all this craziness. So instead of living with disease every day, and instead of living in pain and living with anxiety and living with all these things, we don't have to. Because for the first time, we now have a way out. And that is with these patches. And that's why I encourage people to go to mypatchqueen.com, watch those videos, look at those testimonies. You too can have your health and wellness back if you want it. And it's very simple. You put on your patch, change it out every 24 hours, and go on about your life. And within a matter of hours or days, you'll notice the difference, right? Everybody's body's a little different, as we know. And I mean, and think about it. I mean, all these things that have impacted our health and wellness today. And these were not problems we had when we were growing up, right? So if it's getting this bad for you and I, how bad will it be for our grandchildren?
Wow.
And how bad will it be for their children, right? Because it's constantly declining. We have to take control of our health and wellness, period. I mean, and we have to do it now. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So Eva, I have a patch here beside me. This is the
Hmm.
happens to be one I'm wearing right now.
Yep. Hmm.
I love it because they're literally, like you said, no ingredients in there. And I literally just take this patch off and put it on my body and go about my
Hmm.
day. I don't have
Hmm.
any, side effects from it. I don't have to worry about any ingredients going in my body or my grandkids' body or, it's just absolutely incredible. Is there anything you want to talk about, applying it or,
Yeah,
anything in
no,
particular
it's
you'd like to add
easy.
on
Yeah.
that?
I mean, it's easy to use, it's easy to apply. You just put it on, right? You can wear it anywhere on your body that you feel comfortable. Uh, I don't put mine on my arms or anything because I would be playing with them. So I like to
Mhm.
wear mine on my lower back and on my stomach just because they're out of sight, out of mind, right? And
Mhm.
that's where I wear mine. I've been wearing them there, since I first, got them. And
Mhm.
again, there are no ingredients. You don't have to worry about any kind of side effects or anything. They are made here in the USA. They're actually printed in Minneapolis, Minnesota at the 3M plant. So
Mm.
it's printed on a surgical grade material. They are latex
Mm.
free and vegan, which is important for a lot of folks. And
Yes.
if you can wear a band-aid, you can wear this patch. And
Yeah.
that's what's nice is every single person can wear it. And not only that, Cynthia, every single person alive, think about this. Every single person around the world needs at least one patch, and that's for
Mm.
your immune support, right?
Mhm.
And then you can add other patches as you need them, if you need them, and you can wear as many as you need, right? Depending on your issues. But when you
Mhm.
have something that every single person needs, that's a home run.
It is a home
Because
run.
think about, right, I mean, I know personally thousands of people that have gotten back their health and wellness. And we've only just begun. I mean, most of America doesn't even know about us yet, right? And so just think on how people's lives are going to change in the next 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, right? This is going to disrupt the health and wellness industry like never before because finally we have something for everyone. And that's important to know.
It
So,
is.
if
And
we, yeah.
I, I was just going to say, Eva, I know that we've really focused a lot on the health and wellness aspect of our patches. But
Hmm.
when you're talking about the opportunity to help every single person that's living and breathing could
Hmm.
benefit from one of our patches, if not more.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
let's talk, if you don't mind, could we kind of dive into the financial benefit with the
Yeah,
opportunity that we
absolutely.
have here?
Hmm. Yeah,
Because I
absolutely.
know
I don't
there's
mind.
so many people out there struggling financially, right? They're looking for something. And when you have an opportunity that knocks, because
Hmm.
there have been times in my life opportunity knocked and I didn't answer and I
Hmm.
regretted it. So, can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't mind at all to talk about that. And all this information that we're talking about today is going to all be found on my patchqueen.com. So you can go there and you can, again, watch, all the videos. You can, watch all that information. You can also call me directly at 765-425-7445. And of course, all that is in there as well. So there are a lot of people out there like you and I who truly love to help people, right? And
Mhm.
so they can also help us with this mission because we are looking for people that love to help others, right? And so you and I cannot go and change the world together because we just don't know that many people, right? And so for the folks that are out there that not only do you want to, take your health and wellness back for yourself and maybe your family, right? But you also want to help some other people. We have opportunities for you where you can, join our team and we can help you with, getting settled in and being able to share this opportunity with other folks as well. And also, you'll have your own website. People can actually just go to your website. They can purchase the patches that they need, that they want, and you can set up a nice customer base. Because I don't run around selling patches. I know, Cynthia, you don't run around selling patches. Everything is
No.
done through the website. It's flawless. It's beautiful. It ships directly to people's home. Very affordable. And it also brings in another stream of income into the household. So think about this. Think about you're helping people with their physical and their financial health. And the more people you help, right, the more that comes back to you. So really you're being rewarded by just, helping others. And there's nothing more satisfying. I know for me and for you as well, there is nothing more satisfying than to give someone their physical health back. I mean, when I hear these stories and these testimonies, I mean, I just thank God every single day for this amazing technology. And, and there's a lot of tears, right? Because these are life changing. There's a lot of emotion because you're dealing with people's hopes and dreams. So that's the most important thing. And then when you can help people financially, to ease maybe the burdens of everyday life, the bills, right? Or maybe they're looking to retire earlier, so this will allow them to build a nice residual income where they're able to come home, or perhaps they want to work from home. I mean, how many moms would love to be home raising their children instead of out there and leaving our children here and there, right? So again, it gives people opportunities and choices. And that's what this opportunity does, is it gives you the choices that you need to adjust your life to get what you want out of it. So for us, I know this has been a life changing journey. It has literally given us our life back, both physically and financially. And I feel like we have been given a gift. And when someone gives you a gift of such value, because there's a lot of value here, it's our duty to share this with people that we love and care about. I mean, it truly, truly is. So when I'm out and about, I'm always giving someone my business card. I'm always saying, who do you know that could benefit with better health, right? Or financial health. So if you're out there and you're listening and you're like, you know what, I want to help people. I love helping people, or yeah, I want to work from home, or I want to retire early, or I want to build, an income, then give me a call. 765-425-7445, or go to mypatchqueen.com, and the information is in there. You can reach out to me, but we are here to help every single person that wants to make a difference. And
Eva, I was just going to say, I know that you have a lot of doctors that have come on board and they're introducing this to their patients. And we
mhm.
also have just some regular people like me, but we also attract some really traditional business owners like yourself, or people that, like you were saying, how many stay-at-home mom or moms would love to be a stay-at-home mom, where I see this all the time, people looking for remote
Mhm.
from home jobs that they can do so they can stay home with their kids. So many of those people, especially the professionals, may already have an idea how to start and get started. So can you talk a little bit about the process of, say, somebody that's never had any experience before owning their own business? Is there a potential for them to be able to jump in here and learn what they need to do to make
Oh my
money?
gosh. Yes, absolutely. 100%. This is the easiest business you'll ever build. And the reason is because of the product, right? Remember, there's a need for every single person. You don't have to run around and sell anything. Everything is on the website. And all you're doing is sharing your story. That's really all we do. I mean, you and I today, we've talked about our challenges with our health, right? We've talked about
Mhm.
challenges of other people with their health and financial challenges, but even kids coming out of school, I call them kids because they're younger than me, they're adults, but graduating from college and they studied a certain degree, and then they realize, what, this is not what I want to do. And so they're looking, right? So why not build financial freedom for yourself, right? Because this can build you financial freedom. And all because you're helping other people. See, that's the beautiful thing. This is not about knowing anything. This is about having the desire to help others. That's really what it is, right? But even our seniors, there's a lot of seniors that have retired already, but they're
Mhm.
not ready to go lay in the corner somewhere. They're very active, right? They want to help. They want to be a part of something, and so this is for everyone. That's the beautiful thing. That it doesn't matter. Maybe you're already retired and you want to be able to get out and you want to help people and make a difference in the lives of folks. This is a great opportunity. I mean, we have, you know, folks that are 80 plus years old that are out sharing this with people. I mean, this is for everyone. So it has nothing to do with knowing everything, right? I mean, obviously, I'm here to help and work with every single person that wants this, but it's all about your heart. It's really about people that care and really want to impact and make a difference. That's really all you want. If you have that kind heart and you're the person that wants to help others, then you can do this. That's really all it is. You know this. And all that information, again, is in mypatchqueen.com, or you can call me directly at 765 So it's really, really simple. Yeah, I love what we do.
And
Hmm.
I do too, Eva, and it is simple. I know so many other times you might be looking at something, and there's so much to learn on each product and what's in it, and trying to explain it. And the beautiful thing about how simple this is, it's literally just putting the patch on, no ingredients in there. You don't have to come up with, some long explanation and explain how this works. It's just super, super simple. So
Hmm.
anybody can do this, like you said, whether you're, you know, a young whippersnapper out of college or out of high school even, or somebody that's in their 80s can do this too. So really, all ages. The most important thing, and I loved you shared this, is do you have a heart to help people? And
Hmm.
and I know you've traveled a lot. When we're on the airplane and the oxygen masks come down, they say first help yourself, and then help the others around you. And so that's what you're doing. First, you're helping yourself, and then also, sharing this with others. And you did talk a little bit about the affordability of this. Just maybe talking a little bit about the affordability to start this as a business. I mean, I know you as a former restaurant owner that you spent millions of dollars to open your own business. But to be able to open a business from home is very affordable, right?
Oh my God, absolutely. And less than $1 a day. Well, maybe it's a buck 50 a day or something, but it's less than a cup of coffee a day. Think about
Yeah.
this. I mean, and I remember the day I called you and I was telling you about my health issues and I told you what I found and what had happened. And you said, oh my gosh. And I said, I just love this. I'm going to be able to help so many people. And you said, I want to help people too. Right. And that's kind of how that happened. And so
Yeah.
we're just looking for people that are looking for better health, and we're looking for people that are looking to help other folks and to be able to make a difference. So, having said all that, Cynthia, thank you so much for joining me today. This is so much fun as
Yeah.
always. I love hanging out
Yes.
with you. I love your passion. And girl, we have a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of people
Yes,
to
we do.
help for sure. And for our listeners out there, go to mypatchqueen.com. All the information is in there. You can also reach me at 765 425 7445. So, mypatchqueen.com. Take your health and wellness back into your own hands. And then share this with people that you love and care about. And this is how we're going to help each other look better, feel better, and get our lives back. Thank you so much, everybody. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.
Thank you for being a part of today's episode of Health and Wellness with Eva. We hope you found today's discussion both enlightening and inspiring. Your encouragement and enthusiasm are what make our wellness community so vibrant. Until next week, Mondays at 4 or live on South Florida's True Oldies radio station at 8 p.m. Keep pursuing a healthier and happier you. Call 765-425-7445 for all your wellness questions.